Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of Blast from the Past. I am your co-host, Joe.
And I
Joseph. I'm still talking. I'm not even done talking. We're already off to a bad start. My name is Joey.
Oh.
Here with my co-host, Joshua.
Hi, how are you?
You sound really enthused. Welcome to episode 1.
I'm fucking jazzed right now, dude.
We're recording.
Good, the people need to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are a podcast dedicated to all things nostalgic, retro, and vintage. We're here to tickle that little nostalgia bone that we all have inside of us.
Oh yeah, you know when you walk through a store, you're watching TV, and you have something pop up to remind you of the past, and it just unlocks that memory. We are here to unlock that memory for you.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
It's very, very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 1 is very special for Josh and myself. It is a movie that really plays a key role in both of our childhoods. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that, right?
Oh yeah, we're doing Spider-Man.
2002's Spider-Man, ladies and gentlemen, a fucking movie that pretty much set the bar for superhero films since that day on.
Oh, you like the Avengers? Wouldn't be possible without Spider-Man. You
Absolutely.
like Iron Man, you like Captain America? Wouldn't be possible without Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Absolutely. Like, for the younger audience, like, they really don't understand how hard it was to really make superhero films back in the day. They were not recognized as a serious type of film.
It's like, yeah, we had the Christopher Reeves Superman movies in the 70s and the 1980s, early 90s Batman movies. But it was really hard to get them off the ground to be taken more seriously, and like everybody looked at superhero movies
Just
like
very,
the entire world looks at
Can't
Batman
be-
and Robin.
can't be corny.
1997.
Exactly.
Yes.
Whereas, like, 89 Batman was taken seriously, Batman Returns was taken seriously, but then as it progressed, it just got cornier and
It
cornier.
just got
ending
goofy.
with Batman having a credit card with George
Batman
Clooney.
having a fucking credit card.
There's way too many ass shots in that movie to be
Dude,
comfortable with.
yeah, bat nips. Just bat nips.
Bat nipples,
Bat
ladies and gentlemen.
nipples. So here we are. The year is 2001, and we get a Spider-Man movie being announced.
There's been word of it for a while now. It was tough to get this movie to even be made.
It took 18 years for this
Legal
movie to get off. Yeah, legal limbo, production limbo. In the early to mid 90s, James Cameron was like attached to make a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
And
with a really like edgy kind of.
it was going to be a hard R Spider-Man movie.
Peter Parker was gonna curse,
They were going to swear there was going to be blood,
and
murder.
and supposedly there's gonna be a sex scene
Bro,
on top of a bridge.
MJ was going to fuck him on top of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Ladies and gentlemen, a Spider-Man movie was gonna consist of an actual sex scene.
Yes, what? Because Spider-Man can do whatever a spider can.
Cause it's it's the 90s, man. They don't fucking care. Like, it just seemed for the longest time it would get so they'd get so close to making a movie, and then legal limbo would happen. It would be tossed around from, studio to studio.
Thanks for turning your volume down,
cell
Joey.
phone, man.
That's right. That's right.
I thought I turned it down. Let me turn
Be
this
a
off.
fucking professional.
It's you're blowing out the mic right now. I see it turning red.
I fucking backed my face up like you said.
And you pulled the mic
And
with
I'm
it.
going forward with you.
Anyways, it seemed like for the longest time it would get so close, but just wouldn't come to fruition. This is the worst podcast ever. This is the worst podcast ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they even got so close in the... I can't even finish the point now.
I paused the fucking recording.
Can't even finish the point now. It would get so close, yet never come to fruition. Like, even in the 80s, they got so far as taking actual official photos of the actor, I really don't know his name, in costume. They had an actual photo of the actor in costume, and this was like 85. They were
Really?
Yeah, they were really planning to make a movie. And the
Is
suit looked really comic
Are the
accurate.
photos out there?
Yeah, they're online, and the costume, it looked like the show from the 1975. It was like a real comic accurate.
Do you know the exact year?
Pretty sure it was like 85, 86. I know it was like a mid 80s movie, and I really kind of wish it came out. I don't know the actor though. I really don't think it was any big name.
So, while we're on the topic of the production limbo of the Spider-Man movies, didn't you have a Wizard magazine from 1998 that questioned the possibility of getting a Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, I collect old magazines that are from the 90s and early 2000s. Most of them are Wizards, and they were talking about how in '98 now They're talking about apparent rumors of Fox working on an X-Men film.
Oh,
this is 98 now. And
2 years later.
I found myself in a way getting jealous because I was like, they have no idea
That's exciting.
that in 2 years or however long until they release the trailer. And then in that same article, they were saying, like, do you think other characters will finally get their big screen debuts? Do you think Spider-Man will ever get his movie? They even said Hulk, and I was like, they have no fucking idea.
Oh, dude, we've got to do a Hulk episode.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, coming soon to
Absolutely.
wherever you can get your podcasts.
Can we talk about the suit for a minute that was almost in this movie?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know, Alex Ross was approached.
Alex Ross is a famous artist.
A well-known fucking artist. If you're a fan of comics, you know the name Alex Ross.
You're
For those who don't know,
Yeah.
Alex Ross is just a legend. I mean, I think it's safe to say that.
There's no other art style quite like his. Like, he has a way of... What does he... Does he do paints or does he just do pencil?
I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know.
Dude, all of his art looks photorealistic.
He was approached to make a suit for this movie, and I'm happy and upset that it wasn't put in this movie because his concept for Spider-Man and Goblin were fantastic. Spider-Man, it was a mostly black costume with big bulgy black eyes, and it was it's really hard to explain. I'll leave descriptions to that too, but it was odd, and it's kind of weird how, like, Sam, being the fan he is, how he even considered not making it look accurate at one point. I mean, obviously he ultimately decided not to.
He said, I watching the special features on the Blu-ray, he had said that he felt like he had to keep it comic accurate.
This is his big screen debut. You can't just fucking change it up on us.
Exactly.
Even though Alex Ross's Goblin looks fantastic.
Oh my god. Alex Ross's Goblin is fantastic.
His Goblin, it looked like gritty. It had like an actual cowl. It looked fantastic.
He looked fucking scary.
But
yes, I love the Power Ranger suit.
Everybody likes to call it a Power Ranger suit, but
I love the Power Ranger suit.
But they completely ignore the context. It's a military suit.
I know.
But why do you make the Goblin mask? Because he had.
I didn't know the military looked like Power Rangers, Joey.
It's called Exoskeleton Armor.
Oh, Exoskeleton Armor. Wow.
Fantastic. It's a good suit. It's a good suit. And then I actually like when you see somebody wearing it for the first time. He's wearing some sort of like goggles. He's not wearing a mask. I kind of like how that looks too. When they walk into the lab and they're
the guy just has like the high-tech sunglasses.
These weird goggles, which they actually had in the concept art.
Yes, there were concept arts for the Green Goblin where he was supposed to look way more high-tech, like
techie forward, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, think if you've seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2, how the Green Goblin in that movie looks all kinds of techie. Like,
pretty much.
Think that, but in 2002 with a more techie, more goblin-looking skin-like mask. Like, it wasn't just a helmet. It was like, think more prosthetic makeup.
Also, now that you talk about Amazing Spider-Man 2, one of the concept arts for the Spider-Man suit. Dude, there's a suit concept for this movie that looks absolutely identical to Andrew Garfield's suit in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
It's literally right off, like they took the suit for that movie right off the concept art for this movie. Even
to the point where, like, the Spider logo, like, the lining goes into the blue section. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but it looks too accurate to be an accident.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like they went back when they were making Amazing 2. Like, you want to just use that old fucking concept that we used?
Probably, because that movie's lazy as fuck.
Yeah, I still love it. I still love that movie. Anyways, we're going off track here. Sorry about a different movie.
What are we talking about here? Are we talking about Batman and Robin?
We're talking about Batman and Robin.
Oh.
Nipples!
Nips! Oh, yeah.
Cool party.
Also, they went through a lot of changes when it came to the Spider suit as well. They had more comic-accurate eyes that were more round on the bottoms.
Rounded lenses.
At one point, the lenses were black, too. Like, they were like shades.
Those looked so fucking gnarly.
Yeah, and then, like these images began to surface, like, I think a few months ago. And then they revealed how a lot of the shots in the movie were CGI'd for the eyes to be white. They were originally black.
A lot of the scenes were filmed with the lenses that we got, but a lot of the nighttime scenes were filmed with the black lenses. Because I feel like the material that they had for the lenses that we're so used to seeing...
Didn't quite work.
They might have been reflective.
we don't want to bore you too much with production stuff. Why don't we just get to the point of this whole thing, huh?
Okay, so flash forward. Early summer 2001, you're sitting in the movie theater for Jurassic Park 3, and all of a sudden you start to see a movie, and the trailer starts out with a bank robbery. You want to take it away?
Starts with a bank robbery, and it's classic early 2000s type of trailer. Angled shots, close-ups. You're like, what the hell is going on here? It seems to pan out like a typical action movie, which there were a lot of those back in the late 90s, early 2000s, man. So many action movies, so many heist movies.
Fucking paparazzi.
I guess. And then they fucking make their escape to the roof. They get into a chopper. They're making their escape. You're thinking, wow, this seems like a cool heist movie.
And then all of a sudden, wham! They get caught by something.
They stop dead in this place.
And then the helicopter starts getting pulled back some more, and then it stops, and it pans out, and you see a giant web in the middle of the World Trade Center.
And we all know how that... You're blowing out the mic. Yeah. And a lot of people think that this teaser trailer was meant to be in the film. I really don't think it was. I really think this was just because, trailers aren't always really connected to the films.
And it's like, maybe it could have fit in the whole, his summertime. Like, maybe it could have been, like, the beginning of the summertime. Like, that's how you get your first glimpse of Spider-Man.
That's where you get the reveal of his new suit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I feel like that's where it could have been, and then you would have gotten the whole, dressed like a spider, it looks like a bug.
What,
We should all just give him one big hug.
What are we talking about? The fucking Kmart Chad Kroger? What the
Chad
fuck?
Kroger totally was the fucking song for the movie.
Oh my god.
Now, that trailer had to get pulled because, as you all may know, the World Trade Center attacks of September 11th, 2001, and...
caused for a lot of stuff that involved them to be pulled.
Yeah, like, they had that trailer, they had... The first poster that came out for the movie is him hanging around the corner of a building with the World Trade Center in his eye.
Yeah, which I happen to own. I have that poster, and an ex-girlfriend of mine bought it for me, and we thought it was a reprint. But as a lot of people know, they have, like, legit checks online to where, like, oh, if it has this, it's real. If it has this, it's fake. If it has this, it's real. Every real thing checked out. And those posters can go for, like, easy, like, $4 or $5 grand.
That's fucking crazy, because I always thought you had a reprint myself.
Yeah, dude, so this guy either thought he had a reprint, or this person just had this poster and didn't know what he actually had. Or
it's
she.
Like, I have a Spider-Man poster. It'll fucking sell.
Yeah. No, honestly, like, we legit checked.
Fool.
And the tiny detail that I freaked out about was that if you look in the bottom corner, if you can see the taxi cab going down the street, it's real, because most of the reprints cut that part out. And it had the fucking taxi.
Really?
Yeah, thanks for blowing out the mic with your cough.
Hey, you're welcome. I try my best.
Those all had to be recalled. A lot of stuff for this movie. A lot of reshots had to be done for the movie because they consisted of the World Trade. But some stuff still got in. There's still a part in this movie where you see them reflected in his eyes.
Yep.
Which
the first time you see Spider-Man's like new costume,
new mask,
the new mask, you can see the World Trade Center. Which
I understand some things, when you're in the editing room, some things get left. I get it, but somebody had to notice that. And they like dragged the shot long enough to where it fully registers like, oh, that's the World Trade in his eyes. And I was talking to you about this the other night. I honestly wonder if anybody in the theater, like if any New Yorker who went to see the movie,
saw
that scene.
That's why they pulled all that stuff to begin with. PTSD, and it might, because that was such an awful thing.
Obviously, dude, personally, I still remember that day vividly. But
I don't. That's
no,
crazy. No.
I can only imagine a New Yorker going to see Spider-Man, and then boom, they get a glimpse of. Which, to some might not seem like much, but if you were in New York, I wonder if that triggered any, like, PTSD in a way. Because
seeing it on TV and seeing it, like...
Or, like,
seeing it, hearing it, seeing the smoke, like, even...
Just the fact that this movie is, like, 6 months after the fucking fact.
For real.
And then, bam, in a big fucking screen, here's the World Trade, boom! It's like, oh my god. We're actually getting a little ahead of ourselves here. Do you want to tell them about that E3 teaser that released in late 2000?
Oh, so this is something that I actually didn't discover until like a couple years ago. There was an even earlier trailer than the one with the World Trade Center that was just like a concept teaser. Then it was shown at E3 of all fucking places.
Pretty sure it was E3.
Yeah, I think it was E3. And and to show like how early it was, it had those rounded lenses. It even showed the...
There's even a fast glimpse of the
Exactly.
of the Alex Ross suit. It was
Alex
a weird,
Ross
quick
suit
shot
was
of it
in the trailer. And here's the big difference. He had mechanical web shooters on.
Yep. They clearly showed it when
Clearly
he was in
showed
his
the
room.
mechanical web shooters because, as you know, in this movie he has organic web shooters. It's in his wrist.
That E3 teaser was the shit. It fucking pretty much copied the opening theme with just like the web like designs happening.
Speaking of the web designs happening in the opening, watching the commentary, I learned that sequence, that whole opening sequence at the beginning of the movie, took months to make.
Well, you gotta think this is early 2000s fucking CGI, man.
Yeah, like, but just for like a 2-minute scene, it took months.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
That's crazy.
But the opening credits to these movies are like an hour long. They're like an hour long, dude.
Yeah, especially the third one with the whole symbiote thing.
It's Jesus Christ. It's like there's 3 theme songs in one opening credit.
That's not even Danny Elfman doing the music for that movie.
That's how you know 3 was just destined to not do well. I still love 3, though.
Spider-Man 3 is still great, but...
Avi Arad just got his fucking hands into it.
Avi Arad.
Mr. fucking Toy Biz himself.
Avi Arad.
Alright, anyways, do you want to get into this fucking movie?
I think it might be time, because...
You know, I kind of find it very cool how most of the Queen shots are actually shot in Queens. Whereas now every fucking Marvel movie shot in, like, Atlanta.
Dude,
I like how a lot of the New York shots in this movie were actually shot. I mean, a lot of it was also shot in LA, but the Queens part, at least, was all shot in Queens.
yeah, they wanted to get an authentic Queens.
Even as far as, like, the neighborhood that he lives in, that's an actual neighborhood in Queens. Like, you can go to Queens and see that house. That's not, like, a house that they built.
Nope.
That's, like, a real house.
They built the rooms and stuff, like, on a set, but in terms of the house, they got all those shots outside.
What's the story behind Uncle Ben's Oldsmobile? Is that the same car from Evil Dead?
Oh, I don't know that. I've never heard that.
Pretty sure that's, what's his name? Nash, I think? I fucking don't know those.
Ash. Nash.
Kevin Nash.
Shredder
Yeah.
from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The Oldsmobile is I'm pretty sure that's the car from Evil Dead. Dude, the teacher looks younger than his pupils, man.
He's definitely younger than Tobey Maguire, because Tobey Maguire is literally, like, how old in this
Tobey Maguire
movie?
has a 5 o'clock shadow right now in this scene.
He's...
Dude, they fucking really tried to, like, foreshadow the Goblin thing. Every outfit Harry wears has some sort of green in it. I really wish that they had the balls to give Norman and Harry the waves that they had in the fucking comics.
Get the fuck out of here. No.
Harry.
That's horrible.
Harry, don't you need this? And he doesn't walk up with a backpack. He walks up with like a fucking do-rag.
Oh, dude, stop it. I don't need to see James Franco and Willem Dafoe with a fucking do-rag on.
Rocking waves, dude.
Oh, no.
I wish they had the balls for it.
That's a horrible thing from the comics.
All right, dude, Peter clearly is kind of a creep in this. Do you see the stares he gives her? And she catches him every time?
Ooh.
And he's, like, sweating profusely every time she catches him.
He's like, I'm a little clammy.
Dude, the fucking scene with the spider pisses me off, because it's like, I hate how she just passively, I guess some researchers are checking that one out. No, dude. If you can't fucking find your spider, go fucking find the spider.
Go find out.
Don't you have, like, a walkie-talkie, or, I mean, this is a Sony movie. Pull out your, like, Sony Ericsson and call your fucking assistant.
That's an interesting point to bring up. They actually had a spider wrangler on set.
Yeah,
every had him on that set.
Every shot with these spiders you see in this movie, it's actual shots of the spiders. Like the one where the spider jumps from branch to branch, that's an actual shot that the guy made him do.
Yep.
Dude, like, again,
just a lot of effort went into this movie.
Yeah, I really appreciate early 2000s superhero films because a lot of it was authentic and real. Yeah. Whereas now,
I miss practical effects.
I still think they're fucking
CGI,
way superior.
CGI does a lot of good, but it's like you'll never get the same like effect or reaction unless it was just like real stuff. Like,
CGI was good when it was used for what it was created for, to push the limits of a film.
Yeah.
Now it's just like a lazy choice. Like, let's not fucking build a set.
Like, while we're on the topic of Spider-Man, Far From Home.
He doesn't even wear a suit.
He doesn't even wear a suit.
That's a point. Sorry to talk over you. That's a point that I wanted to make before. The fact that Willem Dafoe was doing more than his stunt double And now the fact that now none of them are barely wearing their like suits.
Exactly. And it's fucking disappointing.
Go on, sorry. I really didn't mean to
Far
talk over
From
you.
Home, the whole scene where they're on the bus.
None of that is real.
Not even the bus!
He's not even in the bus.
I saw a picture, like a behind-the-scenes picture while they were making the movie, and the guy that's driving the bus is literally on a levitated chair in a blue screen room, just holding a fucking steering wheel.
Hey, guys,
You
can't
couldn't
like
even
rent
get
a bus for an hour.
You couldn't even get a bus. That's,
I don't know. I still
that's pure. That's. It's impressive what you can do. Don't get me wrong, but are you fucking serious? Just get a bus.
all the effort they went into to making these sets real, and they couldn't get a teacher that looked older than his fucking students. It pisses me the fuck off. Like, it fucking pisses me off. I'm not joking. Hey, can I take your picture? Yeah, dude. He's breathing so hard on her. She turned around before he even said anything because she felt his breath on the back of her
She was
neck.
just like, yo.
Can I take your picture? Whoa, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Don't make me look ugly. That's impossible. Yeah, keep sweating.
Oh, yeah.
Keep sweating, Toby. What the fuck is going on? Dude, do you think it's kind of corny that they made the spider blue and red? Like, oh, that's what this spider's doing.
Absolutely not. I think it's incredible.
And again, real. They painted a spider.
Oh, no shit.
That's real. They euthanized the spider and they actually painted its body. They'll paint a spider, but Tom Holland can't even wear a mask for more than 2 scenes of his movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We need to stop. We need to stop going to the MCU.
We need to
And
stop.
it bit him, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and look, there's a Sony TV right behind him showing everything that just happened to him. It showed the DNA spliced together. Look, a Sony fucking flat screen in the middle of a lab for some reason, showing the DNA spliced together. I wonder what's gonna happen, Josh. Do you think he's gonna change?
Product placement.
Imagine it.
He becomes product placement, man. This is the movie that we're watching now.
Where do you think Oscorp? Where do you think Oscorp Labs is located? Do you think it's in New York, like upstate New York?
Yeah. Feels like it would be, no?
I don't know. I mean, given that it's a military base, it has to be fucking. I mean, it has to be close at least. I mean, they don't ever show fucking Norman like hopping on a plane or something.
No.
I gotta get to fucking the base. It's gonna take me 2 weeks to get there.
2 weeks. We'll have lost the contract, and
Oscorp would be dead. I feel like Dr. Storm really throws him under the fucking bus in this, though. You take the whole line back to formula. It's like, all right, so you couldn't just hold off for a minute.
Back to formula.
These are the people that run the country. Fucking let there be light. Imagine if fucking Uncle Ben just got like electrocuted. That's how he dies in this.
On my ass, man.
He just falls and dies. That's how he dies in this. And Peter ends up fucking blaming Aunt May.
He ends up blaming chairs.
Dude, every time they show this house, there's food.
You want a bite? I already had a bite.
I get it. You got bit by a spider. Fucking
dude.
pisses me off.
Fuck you.
I wonder what they were eating. Oh, meatloaf and veggies. No. That was the fucking night after. You know,
that's how much you know this movie. You knew what they were fucking eating for dinner.
You know, they never go into details about why he calls him Michelangelo. Do you think it's because he draws like very good? I mean, look how good the fucking concept art was he was making. This scene here where he's like really fucking thin as shit. They filmed this like months before they even like began to shoot. They filmed this because he was about to go on his diet and his like training process to get buff for the fucking movie. And they filmed this before they did anything else because they wanted to get like the thin look, and then the scene afterwards where he's all buff. This is like months later. I really like how this version of Norman Osborn, he's not behind the scenes a dick. I find
40,000 years of evolution, and we've barely even tapped the vastness of human potential.
I really like how this version of Norman Osborn, he's not like a secret like asshole behind the scenes. Like I found recently, or for the past few years, with like, you know, Spectacular Spider-Man, or even in the 90s with the cartoon, Norman Osborn is like not that good of a person behind the scenes. I like how they at least give this Norman Osborn some sort of humanity, so you really feel for him.
Yeah.
You know?
For real, he just seems like a really cool guy.
Like, he seems like a dude who just, like, and here's the thing, he genuinely seems like he cares about Harry.
Yeah, he does.
Whereas everything else, he's like, oh, he barely pays attention to his son. I find in the cartoons and in the shows, Harry resents his father because he doesn't pay attention to him, but in this movie, Harry's just a normal teen that doesn't want anything to do with his dad.
Yeah, he's just a spoiled brat.
What I trade in my car for a... We'll see you in Sweden. What, you want me to trade in my car for a Jetta?
Here's a fun fact. So they tried doing this scene with Norman in the gas chamber with the green toxin.
But it was like actually like hurting him, right?
It was very toxic and he couldn't breathe it in. So what they did was they used liquid nitrogen and they got the white smoke from the liquid nitrogen and they just colored it in pre-production.
It's actually kind of cool though.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of cool.
Neat. Just imagine if they fucking killed Willem Dafoe.
So I guess we got a recast. I guess I don't know what's going on. Oh, he just grabbed Strong by the throat.
To formula.
Back to formula. Still badass. He actually jumps off that. Tom Holland can't wear a mask for 2 minutes. This 17-year-old kid has a 5 o'clock shadow when he wakes up. Did you notice that he like checks his dick when he... Big change. He looks in it. He looks at his package.
Yep.
Fun fact, to get the shot where he's looking through the glasses, they put a big pair of glasses in front of the camera. Yep. Also, a thing that I pointed out to you that you didn't know, his wallpaper is tiny like web kind of patterns. Yes, that's right. Yes. The fucking details in this, man. I fucking love it.
Yeah, if you look closely at his blue walls, they're spider webs. That's awesome.
I'm fine. Yeah, you know that's not creepy. You're looking at her through a window. I heard in the commentary they originally thought of like having her in her underwear to make it like weirder.
They were gonna have her in her underwear dancing around to music.
And then I think Sam was like, guys, you realize we're fucking releasing this movie for kids, right?
This is a PG-13 movie, and they're all 17 and in high school. Kirsten Dunst.
I just noticed bowling trophies on a staircase. Who do you think was the bowler, Peter or Ben? Or May? Is Aunt May a secret fucking beast when it comes to bowling?
Now. That's canon.
That's canon.
Aunt May's a beast mode bowler.
Aunt May's a bowler. She fucking whoops ass, dude.
I want that fucking movie. Rosemary Harris.
Well, Sony was talking about making a movie based on Aunt May. What if it's like a Big Lebowski type Aunt May movie?
Yeah, not what they were saying. How she was gonna be a spy.
Well, that's like your opinion, Pete. I don't know.
She was gonna be a spy, and then it's just Big Lebowski.
He is walking 3 feet behind her this whole scene.
Yeah.
She feels his breath like 5 feet behind her. Hey, MJ. Hi, MJ.
He's a creep.
Also, continuity errors. When the car pulls up, the scene right before it, when it cuts back to him, the car's not even there. But when it cuts back to her, the car's there. Like if you look here, the bus is driving. Dude, the bus doesn't leave that spot every time it pans to him, and then this car comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, what the fuck?
The Mustang was not there, and then that bus, cuts. It cuts, and then the bus is still in the same spot. Continuity is, dude, the editing in this movie is kind of choppy.
Oh, dude, the kid during the fight.
We will get to that in a minute. I can't wait to talk about that. It's fucking ridiculous. Can we please just comment on the fact that the scene where he catches the items on the tray is real?
Yeah.
Go on.
Fun fact about the tray catching thing. The studio asked them to cut the scene out because it was taking too long to film it. Because they had 2 days to film this cafeteria scene. And they shortened them to 1, and they were like, you need to cut the tray scene. And Sam Raimi and the crew were like,
no, this is too cool to fucking cut out.
It's crazy.
Pretty sure this took like exactly like 100 and like change, like way more than a fucking 100 takes. They put adhesive on his hands and on the tray, and he had to legit just catch the items on his own. I still think this is a cool way to fucking like reveal his superpowers. I think I'd rather this over the Andrew Garfield scene where he's in like a train.
Who's like, is anybody else seeing this?
And nobody sees it. Nobody whatsoever sees it.
Flash just got shepherd's pie on their shoulder.
He's at least like 43 in this movie. They're all in their early 40s. Okay, this is the best way that Spider-Sense has ever been portrayed in a movie or any type of media when it comes to Spider-Man. I think this is the best way. Mind you, Flash doesn't know he has Spider-Sense. He was really going to just deck him in the back of the fucking skull right now. Look at that. He dents the fucking locker.
No, he was going to fucking...
Now, can we just talk about...
sucker punch.
Yeah, but like to the back of the head? Can we just talk about the choppy editing that's in this scene? How a specific nerd character changes spots at least like 5 times. He goes back and forth. Dude, it cuts to MJ, he's right behind her. It cuts to Harry, he's like next to him. It cuts to MJ, he's right behind her. Cuts to Harry, he's back behind him. And he's doing different faces. He goes from happy to shocked to like happy to confused. I just envy the range he has as an actor. He did fucking 4 emotions in like 5 seconds. Can you imagine like seeing this happen?
Dude, he like did 6 backflips.
I know.
While in midair.
A single flip was like, look here. The nerd character's like right behind MJ. Right next to Harry. right next to MJ looking confused, and then he's next to Harry clapping. He's like, what the fuck happened with this editing? What the fuck happened? What do you think about, like, the web hole in this that's on his wrist? I kind of think the concept was a lot better.
Oh, yeah, and the concept how it had the slit in his wrist?
Yeah, it was like this eerie kind of fucking just opening that was in his wrist, whereas this, it's just like a web-shaped growth on his wrist. It's like kind of lame. Fun fact, the freaking spiky hairs coming out of his thumb, that was created for this movie. That was never portrayed in anything. Which I think is fucking which I think is fantastic.
See, I always thought that was, like, always a thing. Because
No.
it just makes sense.
It looks awesome too, though.
Yeah.
It looks like really like creepy and awesome. Also love how this is legit a sideways set, and he manages to make wall crawling look so real. Also, the CGI is kind of weird in this. He looks like he's made of like rubber. It does, dude. His leg like reaches like across the roof almost, dude.
The parts where it's like the side view of him running close up.
It looks
He's
very
running on a
odd.
treadmill.
Yeah. Also love how the web line they used, which was like actual fucking like some line of like some kind of twine. It looked really cool in this. How it looked real.
The whole go web go fly scene was completely improvised.
Yeah.
Like Sam was like, just roll with it.
Just fucking try things out, man. Just fucking like, what would a high school kid really try and do if he's trying to make that thing happen again? Look, I told you, meatloaf and veggies. Also, kind of like how like they gave you just enough of like a glimpse into MJ's home life and not overdo it in a way. Like you got just by that one part, like, all right, I fucking get what it's like at that house now. Kind of funny how, is it? I fucking thought it was a PT Cruiser. I was like, how the fuck is Peter jealous of a guy in a PT Cruiser? Did you see the fucking, dude, the prices for some of these classic cars that he's checking out? $3,000 for like an old fucking,
Yeah.
look at that, $2,000 for an old fucking Mustang. Now, I'm pretty sure some of these concepts are actual concepts that were for the movie. Like, when he's drawing all the Spider logos, those are all like the actual options that they had, that they were trying to choose from.
Really?
Yep.
Imagine if they went with the one with the Black Widow.
Which would have been cool, I guess.
His real name is Nathaniel Romanoff. Oh, Dr. Pepper
Look,
product
if you
placement.
see right here, when he pulls the lamp, or when he looks up, you see it a little. Dude.
I saw it.
Yeah. But then if you look on his desk, there's like gadgets and shit that are like he was creating his fucking web shooters, but they eventually cut that out. They cut that out of the movie.
That's crazy. I never noticed that.
Never noticed that either. Did you notice that when they stopped the car, What We're All About by Sum 41 was playing?
Yes. I didn't notice that until like a few years ago.
Really? Oh, man.
That's such a great song.
That's not on Spotify. I don't know why either. All of their other music is on Spotify.
That whole like soundtrack isn't on Spotify. Besides like
Yeah. Or at least it was when I last fucking checked, which is like a few months back.
they have the Danny Elfman score. Which
Yes.
is underrated. Holy shit. That's a score.
Cliff Robertson really sells being like brokenhearted here. Like, I know I'm not your father. Stop pretending to be. Like, you really fucking, like, you really feel like later on when he passes, you're like, dude, Peter never got this. Like, say he was sorry.
Exactly. That's
Like, I think that adds so much to like why he's.
That's what shows Peter. He's just like, no matter how selfish you are, it's like you'll never know the consequences for your actions. So
Exactly.
you need to do the right thing.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Macho Man Randy fucking Savage.
as
That's
Bonesaw
my guy.
McGraw,
Bonesaw is ready.
one of the best men on the planet.
Yeah, I'd agree. Macho Man is...
I'm not talking about Macho Man at all. I'm talking about Bruce Campbell. I don't know if I told you about my theory, but I have a theory that the character Bruce Campbell's playing in each one of these movies is the same guy, going through odd jobs. He's got the ring announcement fucking job. He gets the job as the usher in the next movie, and then, like, I want a movie made of that character. And then when it comes to Spider-Man 3 before his interview, it shows him practicing like a fucking accent.
You know Macho Man fucking auditioned?
For this?
Yeah, it's not like they were like, hey, yo, Macho, do you wanna be in Spider-Man? He went and auditioned.
So
and-
they had a professional wrestler audition to be a professional
Yeah.
wrestler.
So, when he got cast, they were asking him, like, Sam and the producers were asking him, they were like, do you have any wrestling moves that you think would look good? And he grabbed the producer and proceeded to pile drive him.
Oh my god.
He's just, and the producer
It's like
was
facts.
He was horrified. He just pile drived him, and he was like, "Yeah, we can do that."
Oh my god!
Like,
Jesus
that's
Christ!
Awesome.
Big fucking reveal. Oh, speaking of this just reminded me. I think Spider-Man used the $100 he got to make his new suit.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
$100. The ad said 3,000.
The ad said $3,000 for 3 minutes, and you pinned him in 2.
Shouldn't he get at least two grand then for that?
I think he should get
It's
more
a grand a minute.
fucking money.
It's
won.
a grand. I know. But
This
of course.
he's 100% a wrestler now. Like, he should be signed for that by that federation. He beat the fucking champion. He should get a pay raise, not a pay cut.
Can I just point out that the name of the actor who plays the criminal is Tom Papa John?
No, it's not.
That's his real name.
No, it's not.
That's his real name. You're blowing out the mic. That's his real name. His name is Tom Papa John.
Tom Papa John.
I swear to God. Anybody look it up. Anybody look up the cast. The name of the actor is Tom Papa John Pizza. I swear to God. Have I ever mentioned how Peter makes himself look like a douchebag in this scene? How to the bystanders, that guy's nephew just ran off.
Yeah.
The guy's nephew didn't even stay. Now, obviously, you listen to the commentary and stuff. Did you hear the part where the scene after this, where it's the CGI of him climbing up the wall and stuff, where they convinced Sony that was actually him?
Really?
I read this thing where they were trying to get more money for the movie somehow. It had something to do with like more money for the movie. They convinced Sony that entire CGI scene was actually Toby on a wire doing most of it. And Sony was like, "This is fucking fantastic." All right, they like wrote him a check. Some weird story like that. And he looks so elasticy. He looks like, dude, it's the fact that Sony was like, "Wow, this Toby guy's really fucking good at this." Like, I swear to God.
And they didn't look at it, especially in 2002. Well,
yeah,
in 2002, it probably looked fucking crazy.
The fact that like Peter Parker has more facial hair than his uncle. I swear.
It was a fucking 5 o'clock shadow.
Dude, Cliff Robertson fucking crushes him, man. And then look, he walks off, and to the bystanders, like, "Yo, that dude's nephew just left him." Look, they really convinced him that this whole CGI scene was really Toby. Which, I mean,
some of it looks pretty good.
Some of it looks, dude, for a 2002 movie, it looks really good at times, but then there's times where it's really bad.
It just looks like a rubber ball.
There's no gray area when it comes to early 2000 CGI. It either looks fantastic or, like, how did Sony think this was real? I mean, this, obviously, they thought it was fake. But they thought that the climbing the walls and this, they thought that was him on a wire.
That's fucking insane.
Avi Arad, Sam Raimi, Laura Ziskin, they all convinced Sony, like, "No, that's really Toby. This is like the wire work that we're doing."
Wow.
Yeah. And Sony was like, "You guys are doing a great fucking job."
Fucking Spider-Man.
Yo, this fucking Sam dude knows what he's doing, dude. That's why they
this
fucking...
Evil Dead guy's great.
Can you imagine if Sam had the balls to cast Bruce Campbell as an older Peter Parker?
Get the fuck out of my face.
Imagine if fucking Spider-Man 1 was an old, laid-back Peter Parker. Like, imagine if, Spider-Verse age Peter Parker. Oh, that sucks. I think the web scene is... Like, I love how this is him figuring out how to, like, web swing.
Yeah.
And I love how they recycled a lot of these shots for the TV spots, but instead of nighttime in the wrestling outfit, it was daytime in his actual outfit.
Whoa, wait, what?
In the TV spots and the advertisements for this movie, a lot of these swinging scenes were recycled, but they CGI'd it to instead be daytime wearing his actual costume, not this and not at nighttime. It's really crazy.
I actually didn't know that.
Dude, as a scene...
This is one of my favorite scenes in the whole trilogy.
I wish there was more to it, and I think there was more to it, but we'll get to that later on when we talk about the game. How I truly believe that the Skull Gang that was in the game was truly going to be a part of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But this scene is fantastic. Also love the shot where he's on the Chrysler building, just contemplating everything. Mind you,
I think that was one of the first things that they conceptualized for the movie.
I was just about to get to that. I was about to say how a lot of the scenes in this movie's buildings aren't where they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's at on the Chrysler building in the scene, that spot doesn't have that view.
No.
It's weird. Like, and later on when we get to the Times Square scene, that building, that Unity Day building, isn't even in Times Square.
Yeah.
Like, I think
that's
that's
fucking crazy.
Like, look, this right here, like, that view's not there. Those buildings aren't even next to the fucking Chrysler building. I like how Sam, in a way, really like created his own New York in a way. Like that's like very
Created
cool.
his own New York while really respecting New York.
Exactly. He respected New York and at the same time give it his own twist. Like that Unity Day building. As a kid, I thought that was really there. As I got older, it's like that's not.
Where the fuck is it?
What the fuck is?
Where the fuck
that?
is it?
Where is it, dude? Quest Aerospace. How the fuck did he think this was superior to fucking Osborne shit? Oh, he fucking hops in his fucking glass tube and he flies at like a mile an hour. I'll take that over this fucking glider. This Power Ranger shit, dude. Nothing.
This Power Ranger shit, dude.
Look at that stupid fucking thing.
And dead.
And then they cut to graduation. See, dude, that's the thing that nobody knows about this movie. This whole movie takes place over the course of like 8 months.
Yeah.
Like I remember when.
But it all just happened so fast that everybody's just like, huh, you just became Spider-Man.
Like I remember seeing people online say like, oh, Tobey Maguire, like they didn't show his Peter learning how to be Spider-Man. He had it down in like a minute. But when you really break down this movie, dude, it begins with him going on a fucking field trip. It cuts to graduation. That whole montage scene, that's his summer vacation.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize that. That montage is his summer vacation.
And then they have Thanksgiving, like, dinner.
Yeah. Then it cuts to him and Harry living in their college apartment. Cuts to Thanksgiving. And then there's more movie after that.
Yeah.
This whole movie takes place over the course of 8 months. And I realized this for the first time, like, a while ago. Like, 3 years ago. I was watching it and I was like, this motherfucker graduated and had Thanksgiving in, like, 5 minutes. But it's, like, 8 months.
I had Thanksgiving in like 5 minutes.
Kind of wonder why, like, they moved out of that fucking apartment. Like, Harry has the fucking money to keep paying the rent. Maybe it's because he didn't want to risk, like, being caught by Harry.
Maybe Harry fucking moved out and he had to move into a broom closet because Harry resented him for taking pictures of the guy who killed his father.
He mentions it every 2 seconds in 2. Peter even says, like, yo, can we, like, get off the fucking topic, dude? It's like, oh, you're mad at me for taking photos of him. Hey, I'm a scientist. You own a lab. You want to give me a job?
For real.
Fuck out of here, dude.
I'm a science major and you own the fucking biggest science lab in New York.
Which in the series, that again we'll talk about later, Harry offers him a job.
Really?
He's like, oh, maybe I can get you taking photos for Oscorp, and not that murdering bug fucking Spiderman. Really kind of like how they have these scenes with Aunt May and Peter though. I just really like how they portray the relationship. Except Garfield's had a pretty good relationship too.
Sally Field's Aunt May was actually pretty cool. I thought she was nice.
And I think Martin Sheen honestly crushed it as Ben.
Yeah.
You have a moral obligation to do those things. Accidental. That's hilarious. It's like, he kind of said it, but not really.
Yeah.
Kind of love how they created this like camera method to get those shots.
And this shot, that was all filmed in L.A. and they just added the New York skyline.
A lot of the downtown shots is all L.A., but when it comes to like Queens and shit, that's all Queens. Dude, Jim Norton. I had no idea that Jim Norton was the truck driver that says he hates him. He stinks, and I don't like him. That's fucking Jim Norton.
Who?
Jim Norton is a radio personality / comedian. He played Don Rickles in the Irishman movie.
Really?
And also for fans of A Bronx Tale, the cop that says he's some kind of freaky Lou or something wackatoo, that is Slick from A Bronx Tale. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a cool... Yeah, that's fucking Slick. Them Jim Norton. That's so cool, dude. I realized that like 6 months ago, and I was like, holy shit, Jim Norton's in Spider-Man?
Some of the skulls.
Again, as I said, I'm going to get to this later. I think the Skull Gang from the game was meant to be Lucy Lawless. Xena has like a 2-second shot. And then Kmart Chad Kroger. Where,
my guy.
For those who've never noticed, in the background, his skateboard has a Venom Spider logo on it.
That is crazy.
That's kind of weird. And it says Spider Power. And Twin Towers in his eyes.
Yeah,
you're able to register it. Ladies and gentlemen, probably the best casting in cinematic history alongside Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. As I've said to you before, I find it hilarious how he went from playing like a skinhead in Oz.
Yo, that's right.
To fucking J. Jonah Jameson. It's like just the range of like acting.
Skinhead to Spider-Man photos.
I'm pretty sure his character was a Nazi. I'm pretty sure. We've spoken about how Eddie Brock has been was established in this movie, right?
Eddie Brock was cast in everything during this movie.
And
everything. There was an actor.
There's even behind the scenes shots.
In costume.
There's behind the scenes shots of him actually like and his actor looked like he would have crushed it.
He looked like he had the
his
build
actor
and he had
looked
the
like
face for Eddie Brock.
Yeah, he had an Eddie Brock type face.
Yep. And then nothing. They even name drop him.
Have I told you about my fan cast for Eddie Brock?
To Brock Lesnar?
No, hell no, I don't want Brock Lesnar. Suplex City, Spidey. No, I want Darren Norris, well-known voice actor. He was also in Ned's Declassified. He also voiced Eddie Brock and Venom in the 2000 Spider-Man game. So
do you want him for the voice, or do you want him for Eddie Brock
I want him
himself?
I want him to play Eddie Brock. He has that older look.
Is that the janitor from?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my fucking god! It's the janitor from Ned's Declassified.
Yeah. Darren Norris. You
want the janitor from Ned's Declassified?
Darren Norris plays Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents. He plays Jorgen von Strangle. He plays.
That's a hot take.
He voiced Eddie Brock and Venom in the 2000 Spider-Man game. He has the voice down.
It's a hot take.
And he doesn't need to be buff because they just CGI that now. Tom Holland doesn't even wear a mask.
For 5 minutes?
I feel like he would. That's just a funny fan cast for Eddie Brock that I have.
Hey.
I just think because again he's done the voice before. He has the look in a way. I just think he would fucking be awesome as it. But they already fucking casted Tom Hardy and that's who they're gonna connect. But if they ever reboot again. I would like to have a
Tom
Darren
Hardy's Venom is so
I really like
cool.
I really like it.
The movie itself is like it's passable, but
a lot of people don't like the jokes in it, but
I think the jokes are great because the 2000 Spider-Man game, he fucking cracks all the jokes.
No,
surf the web.
Well, yeah, because in a way, Eddie Brock had a dark past and he was a darker character and Venom was a darker character, but he was sassy. For lack of a better word, he was sassy.
He was cocky.
Cracked jokes, he was cocky, and they portrayed that
awesome. Because the symbiote got that from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought about that aspect of it.
To Spider-Man, he always cracked jokes and stuff, so...
everyone was like, oh, he's cracking, he's calling Eddie a fucking bitch or a pussy. It's like, yeah, that's some Venom type shit, though. Pussy. Yeah, it's like, all right. Or maybe the Venom that we grew up with, that's how he was.
Yeah, but
especially when you play that PS1 game. That Venom is who Tom Hardy played.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Spider-Wuss, come on. Darren Norris, as I said, Darren Norris, I need him to play him. Darren Norris would be fantastic. So if Darren Norris comes to hear this, somewhat ends up hearing this.
We're on your side.
I'm on your side. Please fucking play Eddie Brock / Venom, please.
So, the Unity Day Festival. Let's talk about that for a bit.
This is honestly probably my favorite scene in the entire movie.
And I was listening to the commentary. They said that this was the hardest scene to film.
Well, because, dude, there's over 1,000 extras. There's a lot of extras.
There's 1,000 extras?
Dude, look, that's an entire... They pretty much had to throw an actual, festival. That building isn't even in Times Square. The Unity Day building that Harry's at with MJ, where the battle takes place, that building's not even in Times Square. Again, it goes back to me saying, I like how Sam put his own little twist on New York.
You know how long this scene took to shoot? Because they shot it on location and on a set?
You know how dangerous it was? Where, I don't think she was even wired. I think she was just sitting on that piece of rock that was hanging.
Yeah, because it wasn't that high.
I don't think... No, but... Well, it was still high to where if she fell, she would have got banged up a little bit.
I think so.
It was like at least fucking 20 feet up.
Yeah, fucking Kirsten Dunst got that. She's
no,
got the superhero landing.
No offense to, but I think Harry Osborn's kind of a bad friend in this movie.
He's a dick.
It's like, yeah, man, you fucking never made a move. So what? That means you have dibs?
For real.
I don't know.
Respect me.
I don't know. And then he somehow sees Peter from 20 stories up. He sees Peter exactly staring up, being a creep again. Peter's sweating.
Being a creep again.
Peter's
taking pictures of fucking
Peter's fucking sweating through his suit. Have I ever told you about the backlash that the Singular billboard in this scene got?
What?
Apparently Singular Wireless wasn't available to New Yorkers at the time, and when people saw you CGI'd over a billboard in Times Square to have Singular, but we don't even have it. That's a dumb thing that people got annoyed about.
I guess people were as soft in 2002 as they are in 2020.
Not a fucking thing's changed. Nothing's improved. I can't use this phone in here in New York. Why are you putting the bill? Dude,
fuck off.
This guy
Fuck you.
This guy sticks to walls, and you're mad about a phone network. I don't know, dude.
This guy sticks to walls, and the most unbelievable thing in the movie is a phone network.
This scene is like really well put together, though. Can we just acknowledge the bomb that turns people to skeletons?
Skeletons?
Yes, I'm saying skeletons because that's how outrageous it is, dude.
Skeletons.
Yes.
Skeletons.
What kind of fucking...
Stanley. There we go. Obligatory Stanley cameo.
I fucking love it. Rest in peace, a legend.
R.I.P.
Can we just acknowledge that General Slocum thought the glass tube was better than skeleton bombs?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Nothing would please me more than to put that out of business.
The metal condom was better than skeleton bombs.
Mind you, can we just acknowledge why Norman Osborn was creating weapons for the military? This is a post 9/11 New York. I've never thought about that until right now.
Wow.
Skeleton bombs for the fucking Al Qaeda, dude.
Holy shit.
Early 2000s.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, this cop here, for those who don't know, the cop yelling "hold her" right there in this scene, that is the actor that played Peter Parker in the 1970s live-action Spider-Man show.
Really?
Yeah, so no offense to Stan Lee, God rest. Fuck that cameo. That is my favorite cameo of this whole movie. That is my favorite cameo of this whole movie. It's a show that nobody knows about because it's obviously looked over compared to Spider-Man.
You fucking beat me to it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
No one talks about the American...
Toei Spider-Man, where he had a morpher, and the suit came out of a wrist gauntlet, and it magically popped onto his body.
Another episode for another time.
He didn't swing around or anything like that. He had a car that transformed into a Megazord. Yes.
It was,
and that was the first thing that we got Megazords from. Power Rangers was not.
Another episode for another...
Power Rangers
episode.
Absolutely. Oh, my God.
Also...
Spider-Man.
Also, in this scene, you can see web shooters like multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the nozzle poking out of his wrist. Also, dude, the suit length is inconsistent throughout. There's scenes where, like this scene now, where he's tearing off his shirt to suit up. The suit's cut down low near his chest. But then every scene post this, the suit like goes up to his neck like it should.
What, when he's running and he's...
Yeah. I don't know if it's supposed to be like tucked under so it's not exposed, but like it's obviously cut really low. I think like that's another inconsistency that this movie can have. Also, her hair's flowing the opposite way, and she's holding onto a mannequin.
That's not even a real person in the Spider-Man suit. That is a mannequin that she's holding on to.
Which I get, but it's like her hair's not even going the right way. I don't fucking get it. Also, this is another scene right here where you could obviously see the web shooters. I think that's cool how like you like get a glimpse of like what almost was in a way. Like I kind of like how they didn't go out of their way to cut that out, or if they even saw that it was not cut out. Have we acknowledged how sloppy the webbing is on his suit?
Trampoline, huh?
He jumped on a trampoline. Blatantly jumped on a trampoline to get over. And when she runs over to the ledge, she walks around the trampoline.
So you see how he's swinging and he ran on the building?
Yeah.
The idea to have Spider-Man run on buildings was from the animation director.
Oh, really?
He was like, yeah, I think that would be pretty cool.
Because it kind of makes sense. Why would he not?
For real.
You know?
Why not?
Oh, first of all, can we just acknowledge the fact that this whole back and forth in the mirror was one take?
Yeah.
They wanted to originally take 2 takes with him reacting to pre-recorded audio. But he was like, guys, I could just turn it on and off. It's fine. I was going to
say, I saw the clips of him reacting to the pre-recorded audio.
Which I think is fantastic acting. And I love how they established the fact that he has a thing for weird masks, hence the fucking Goblin mask. It's a cool little backstory, if that's the right word. Yeah. It's a cool little fucking backstory.
Shows a little bit about Norman.
And again, I like how they established like Norman as like not that bad of a guy. So you're watching these scenes and you truly fucking feel like, wow, this poor dude's like losing his fucking mind right now. Because again, in the animated series and other mediums that they've had Norman Osborn, he's portrayed as like behind the scenes like a shady fucking dude. Especially in the 2018 game, he's portrayed as like a crooked fucking politician in a way. Yep. It's like, all right, so you don't really care if the Goblin formula turns him insane. You don't care about his character, but with this movie, you really do in a way. And I think that's a good choice on their part. Daily Bugle. As a kid, I thought that was actually the fucking Daily Bugle. And when I got old, as always, your dreams are crushed. Trust my barber.
How about the Green Meanie?
Now, you had a different take on this, and I had a different take on this. I think Jonah, because the one thing that they've shown for Jonah Jameson throughout the years, through comics, through cartoons, through anything, he's at heart a really fucking good dude.
Yeah.
Like, he shows to really care about people, blah, blah, blah.
He's a really good guy, but he has his own beliefs.
And my take in this scene when he says, I don't know who he is, his stuff comes in the mail, he's really just trying to protect Peter. But I think it was you once where you were like, or he's just trying to save his fucking... Like, those images are bringing in money. He doesn't want to jeopardize that. I think it was you that approached me with that take on it. Or he's just trying to
He doesn't want Peter
protect
to
his
die 'cause he
fucking
has
golden
good
child.
photos.
Yeah. But I honestly think they were just...
I like to think that.
Yeah, because again, throughout the series and other mediums, they showed like, nah, Jonah's like, he cares. He really fucking cares. And back to Darren Norris, he voiced Jonah Jameson in Spectacular.
That's right.
Darren Norris, man, I fucking love him. Now, this scene here, when he's talking to him on the rooftop, as you get older and movies age, once it became easy to notice that the background buildings were fake, you can't really ignore it afterwards. It's like, all right, I'm trying to give in to the illusion, but then you see, like, dude, that's obviously a fucking wallpaper. Really fucking love the speech that he gives him here. Because it's like...
of everything you've done.
Because when you think about it, it's true, man. Like, the fucking public, and they like to see heroes fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it gives them something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it, hero.
The fucking CGI right there aged kind of badly. Kind of badly. Oh, this is the scene where they attack MJ. Where, can we just acknowledge how a Spider-Man movie had the balls to put an attempted gang rape in their movie?
Yeah, jeez.
They were gonna rape her. They fucking weren't just gonna mug her. These goons attempted to gang rape Mary J. Like, for a Spider-Man movie, like, again, you will never see that today.
No.
You will never see that.
No. Which is... Now, do you feel like that's good or bad?
It's good because, like, you don't want to expose kids to that type of thing, but in the same time, it's like they're adding reality. Like, no, she's a young woman.
It's good
walking
in the real
through New York at night.
It's bad because you want it to be more realistic, but
it adds
it's good
reality
because
to it. She's a young woman walking through New York at night. This could possibly happen. In a way, it's a cautionary tale. Like, hey, ladies, don't walk around shady neighborhoods at night because, you got to be safe. I don't know. I think as a white male, my opinion doesn't really matter here, Josh. I think as a white male...
my
opinion doesn't matter
really here. Jesus Christ.
He says, I was in the neighborhood twice in 2 minutes, and she has no idea he's fucking Spider-Man.
Yo, I know.
I think I have a superhero stalker. I was in the neighborhood.
Do too.
I was in the neighborhood. Hey, my fucking friend Peter just said that like 2 minutes ago. Do you think the thunder and lightning that suddenly appeared was Thor?
Thor, shut up.
You think they're hashtag it's all connected?
Hashtag it's all connected.
Hashtag, look, it begins to rain out of fucking nowhere. It never rains that fast.
Oh, jeez.
I think these guys were supposed to be Skull Gangs too. I can't wait till we talk about the game so I can give my theory about the fucking Skull Gang. Attempted gang rape, dude. You and I realized this like when we did our prep day, and I was like, wow, they really put that in a Spider-Man movie. And again, like, even though it's PG-13, it's aimed toward kids. To have that, like, I mean, obviously kids don't get it.
Movies were able to get away with a lot more.
True, but I think, as a kid, I never really understood what was going on. I thought they were just trying to
neither,
rob her.
but
I thought it was like a robbery, but then as I got older, as I said last week, we realized, like, dude, this is a fucking attempted rape.
They were undressing her.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's fucked.
And with all that light, she can't see that Peter's unmasked, apparently.
With the fucking lightning, she cannot
right
see.
in his face. Like, I see him right now. Dude, the HD really exposes how easy it was to see him. Mm-hmm. I was in the neighborhood. Hey, I have a friend who says that.
Literally
just said that 2 minutes ago. Do you know him? Imagine if she found out he was Spider-Man in this movie, because when she went to kiss him, she just yanked off his mask.
Imagine she kissed him, she went,
oh my god!
Bumming in the street.
Tom Holland can't wear a mask, but Tobey Maguire is actually hanging upside down.
Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, he would have been like, just take the mask off.
He would have been
like, just take it all the way off.
Fucking, that's actually Tobey Maguire hanging upside down.
He almost died.
Yeah, the story is the mask kept collecting water. Mm-hmm. It was blocking his nose.
Yeah.
So he was legit trying to breathe through the side of his mouth like he was making out with Kirsten. It's like, yo, he's almost dying for the scene. Sam was like, more takes, come on. It's fucking
This was like the most iconic part of the movie.
Yeah. Dude, to this day. Mm-hmm. I still remember watching the fucking VMAs that year and it won Best Kiss.
Of course.
Because I'm a fucking kid in the early 2000s, back when that mattered. Fucking...
This is a very important scene.
Love this scene. I think the fucking CGI is fantastic in this scene. I think this is probably as far as fight scenes in a superhero film. And the fact that the fire was real, like, that's two stunt guys really in a room on fire, and you could see how the suit's like wet. I forget where I read it, but in some shots the suit looks wet because they actually wet the suit so it wouldn't catch fire, which I think is like amazing. And the fact that they were able to hide it except for 2 shots. Like this first shot here when he hits him and he falls, you can see that the suit is obviously wet. Like watch, when he lands, his suit's obviously soaking wet.
Yeah.
You see that? It's like, alright. The fucking CGI and this is fantastic too.
Daddy, this just looks good.
What about my generous proposal?
Are you in or are you out?
It's you who's out, Gobby. Out of your mind. That's another thing. He does quip in these movies.
Yeah, everybody says he's not funny, but
I'm tired of hearing, he doesn't quip. Dude, he has some zingers in this movie. Especially 1. 2 and 3, he kind of dialed it back, but he has some zingers, dude. He's a fucking comedian, dude.
He's a fucking funny guy.
If his jokes were crackers, my daughter would be fat.
I have ears like a cat and eyes like a rodent.
Thanks, Mr. Dickovich. Hey, Pete whips a spatula at a stove and it catches fire.
You'll get your rent money when you fix this damn door!
Blew out the mic.
I can't see. There are cars there, motherfucker.
Get out of the way. Dude, he's sweating in this scene. Also, errors in this scene. When Norman Osborn walks into Peter's room and Peter's up on the ceiling trying to hide from him, you can clearly see the hook that's holding him up. The HD exposes that.
Wow.
When he walks in and he's on the ceiling, you could clearly see a yellow hook attached to his suit.
And his CGI'd out in like the trailers and stuff?
I don't think so. I think just because due to like the quality of look, you see the hook?
Incredible.
Look at that. I think just because given the quality of VHS and shit back in the day, it was hard to see it, but like HD exposes a lot of stuff over here. Gadget's on his desk.
Oh yeah.
Again, dude, I really think they were gonna add. I mean, obviously web shooters are known to have been in this movie early on, but I think he was gonna have more gadgets to be honest. Can you imagine if he created spider tracers and he traced fucking Goblin back to Oscorp?
That'd be cool.
That would have been sick.
I want the fucking spider signal in the movie for more than 10 seconds. They teased that shit at the end of Civil War, and we have never touched on that again.
Never saw it again. I think this is a fantastic shot here, where he's looking over the balcony and Peter's under it. Had to beat an old lady with a stick to get these cranberries. Now, even though, the big reveal, he has the cut. It's like, dude, maybe he fucking just cut himself. Why is your first conclusion, he's Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the freaking blood drop fell from the ceiling, but it's like, it's still a bit of a reach to assume that right off the bat, I don't know. And then he freaks out and leaves, and then he insults Harry's new girlfriend.
Dude, fucking James Franco did not want to be in these movies at all.
James Franco, for those who don't know, he went for Peter Parker, ended up getting turned down, offered the role as Harry Osborn, and he had some sort of a beef with Tobey Maguire. He said he looked like a lizard, which is kind of funny. But it's like, hey, asshole.
Shit happens.
You got offered Harry Osborn. Can you be grateful?
For real, it's like
they could have told you to fuck off, man.
Exactly, they could have said, we don't want you, but they still were like, this guy's good enough to be in your movie. It's like, cry more, piss less, buddy.
You made a shitload of money. I don't know.
Yeah. Arguably, he was in Freaks and Geeks before this and other stuff, but this movie made his career. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, for kids our age, yeah. But obviously for older people, they probably watched Freaks and Geeks before this. But, for
Freaks and
our
Geeks
age...
only lasted a season, so I don't think anybody really watched it before that.
Well, I mean, again, older people. I mean, kids our age, yeah, this was definitely our intro to James Franco. Dude, I want that mask. They had it at Rhode Island Comic Con, and I didn't buy it like an idiot. Obviously, it wasn't a prop. It was like a really well-made, replica mask, and I wanted to buy it. But I was trying to save my money for other stuff throughout the day. And then by the time we left, it was already gone. And I was fucking upset. This man blows up her house.
Dude, he literally just
and then
flies
in
to
fucking
the side of their fucking suburban home. Finish it. From evil.
Dude, again, gritty stuff, man. And then the big realization that he knows who he is. Can I just say that Harry, dude, to have the balls.
Yes.
To tell your friend, hey, man, you never made a move. I'm going to chase after this girl.
Okay.
And then you walk into the hospital room. She's holding his hand. You don't think, hey, man, his aunt's almost died. She's holding his hand to comfort him. Right away, she loves Peter.
Yeah, dude.
She was holding his hand in a hospital.
Almost died.
Somebody
you haven't even fucking said I'm sorry to your friend. You barely talked to him in fucking weeks.
Somebody has a guilty conscience. She loves Peter. Why? She was holding his hand next to his Aunt May in a hospital bed.
Okay, dude.
Fuck out of here, man.
Ugh.
You do too much, you're not Superman, you know. Everybody else knows, realizes, oh shit, somebody else knows. A payphone. Do you think we should explain to the people what a payphone is? Ladies and gentlemen, up until the mid-2000s, they had telephones throughout cities where you would insert currency, sometimes quarters, sometimes nickels, and you would make not even cellular, mobile phone calls. This is like the worst podcast.
This is the worst
podcast
of all time.
Nobody's gonna listen. Nobody's gonna listen.
Episode 1 was great, guys.
I'm barely listening to myself talking. I'm expecting.
Back up and go home.
I'm expecting to gain an audience off this, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh, jeez.
We're at the bridge scene now.
Are you serious?
The most pro New York scene of all time, which
dude.
I like appreciate. Again, it comes back to post 9/11. They had this big unified scene. You mess with us, you mess with all of us. I think that's very cool.
Scene's great.
It is. It's fucking fantastic. I also think the suit looks really good in this scene. Love how they show him use the slingshot move, where he webs the two poles and he launches himself.
That was one of my favorite fucking things as a kid.
I love that they put that in here.
Oh, so good.
Goblin, what have you done? One of the few times that you actually see the mouth move under the mask. I always thought that was super annoying too. It's like, alright, it's obviously not Toby in that suit because the mouth isn't even moving. I mean, I get the face shell kind of fucks it up, but it's like, come on, guys. And the voice never sounds muffled at all.
No. It
Never.
sounds so
That's where I think
clear.
That's where I think Andrew Garfield's got it perfect. His voice sounded muffled whenever he was under that mask. It sounded real.
I love those movies.
I do too.
I think the first Amazing Spider-Man movie is great. I think it's a great Spider-Man movie. The second one was just sloppy because it was worried to set up another thing.
But the actors and actresses weren't bad, though. It's just
Jamie Foxx and his electric-heeled teeth.
Honestly, dude.
The gap went away.
Honestly, dude. Yeah, dude. The gap going away was fucking hilarious. Can we please talk about those movies at some point?
Oh.
I really want to defend those movies and why they're not as bad as everyone says. Which, mind you, I've come to notice not a lot of people think they're bad. It's just one of those things where the studio doesn't make the right movie for the actors to portray.
Yes. And
the actors and their performances suffer in a way, even though they're giving it their all. And then in a way, I feel like they think we blame them for it. Like I truly feel like Andrew Garfield thinks we hate him. It's like no, dude. We just think the studio made a bad movie. That's all. Yeah. If Andrew Garfield hears this, dude,
I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was written perfectly and should have been introduced into the MCU.
I too wish it was incorporated into the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I think
his whole run was cut short for something better, but they really should have incorporated him with it.
We have to do these movies because there's a lot of that. There's a lot towards that we can get into.
Yeah.
As far as Marvel approaching Sony to include the Oscorp Tower in the first Avengers.
Yep.
The fact that they attempted to connect it and Sony then was like, no.
Which is fucking stupid.
Which I get it. Which I get at the time, like they're fresh into their reboot. I mean, I get it. I don't know. Dude, the suit looks fantastic here.
The fucking suit looks fantastic in the whole fucking movie.
I think the logos in this movie are the best. Dude, it shocks me how many people don't know that this movie had different logos than 2 and 3.
Yeah, this is a completely different suit from the other two movies.
Every time I see people...
The blue's different.
Yeah, the blue's duller, the red's duller, the webbing's very sloppy. The eyes arch up more at the top.
Mm-hmm. The eyes are pointier at the top. Ugh.
Like, there's so many posts I see where, like, oh, choose your logo, and they label
the
2 and 3's
trilogy.
Yeah, 2 and 3's logo as 2002. It's like, that's not 2002. That's 2004 and up. This movie had different logos. For those who don't realize that, take a look. And I think the back logo is the best. The back logo for this, I really don't like 2 and 3's back logo. I think this movie's back logo is the best. Because it's just like a fatter, rounder spider. It kind of reminds you of, like, that Tick type of back logo, in a way. Oh, and here's fucking one of the cool scenes in the movie. New York. Did you notice how that's the same actor from Spider-Man 2? The African-American actor? He's outside the burning building. Oh, they think that they're...
Is that the same guy?
The one who says, you mess with Spidey, you mess with New York.
No!
Is the guy on Spider-Man 2 that says, oh...
Do you think it's supposed to be the same character?
I believe so, and I
now.
fucking
It's
hope
canon.
it is. I fucking hope it is. I hope that's what Sam thought. The same guy that goes, oh, they...
You think he's in the third one somewhere?
I would love to look. I mean, for Sam to give him speaking roles, then it like has to be the same guy. Now this scene,
the final battle.
The final battle. That's the scene that we're entering now. This is the best, to me at least. I mean, I really don't want to speak for Josh. This is the best final battle in a superhero movie that I've seen ever. There's blood. He's really beat the fuck up. Even though some final battles have been pretty gruesome since, like I really don't think anything
this one
top
you can
this.
just feel like how defeated
like the drool.
he is.
Yeah, like you see how like, because then you also realize like, yo, in reality, this is an 18-year-old kid that's taking these beatings.
Tobey Maguire is like 33.
He's like 55.
Yeah,
I think he's in like his early 60s in this movie.
Oh, just kicks the shit out of him. And I love how fucking torn up the mask looks. I just love that.
Yes,
I think that looks incredible.
And they haven't done that since either.
Nope.
I mean,
they were gonna do it in one of the MCU Spider-Man movies.
Yeah,
but
then they
were like, yeah, let's just take the mask off.
I love how the Goblin's wearing Nike foam posits. He's wearing Nike foam posits. I'm telling you. Look at him. He's wearing a pair of foams, dude. I think the battle damaged action figure was my favorite one out of that whole line.
I remember having it.
I loved it. I honestly think that was my favorite one out of the whole line.
Yeah, it just has a really good look to it, really good sculpt.
This is back when like the sculpts still managed to look a lot like the fucking actors and shit.
They're starting to again. Hasbro finally got face scan technology.
For those who don't know, the reason why the Spider-Man 3 toys look so different from 1 and 2 is because Hasbro got the license in like 06 when Toy Biz went under.
Yeah, but that's 06.
But I get they had a short time to make these toys because toys are made so early on in advance. But the face sculpts were just so bad for those toys.
Yeah, but Hasbro's come a long way. And here we have the death of Norman Osborn.
Yeah, I love how we kind of
that's fine.
Went off the rails on that scene. He got stabbed in the package.
Fine.
Why would Harry right away think, oh, Spider-Man killed him? Why are you thinking that? You literally found him with his dead body. Don't you be like, hey, what happened?
Harry's a little bitch.
Hey, you saved Mary Jane. You saved Peter's aunt. Oh, but you killed my dad. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. Wait.
And then
when did he save Aunt May in this
Sorry.
movie? That's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. And then in part 2, when he finds the Goblin room, you would think he would be like, oh, that's why. No, it's, oh, how dare Peter kill my psycho father.
Yeah, for real. As soon as he sees the Goblin movie, it's like he fucking turned people into skeletons.
Another conversation for another time.
Jesus Christ.
Another conversation for another time. Dude, he's half asleep in the scene. His eyes are not even open.
Who, James Franco?
Yeah. Didn't lose him. He was stolen from me. He was like napping. He was napping through the whole scene. I also love the visual of him getting into that car, because at the beginning he was saying how he hated the car, he wanted a different car, and now he's getting into it. He has to take over now. Like this kid's walking into like he's becoming his dad now. Look at that. Now, given the fact that they weren't sure if this movie was gonna succeed, do you think Mary Jane knew at the end that he was Spider-Man?
I think.
Because
once she kissed him and felt his lips and the way he kisses, she got maybe an idea. Was like, I don't know.
Because when he's walking away, she like holds her lips, looks shocked, and looks back at him, and it's like, oh, she was onto something. And then here comes probably the best ending to a movie ever, right? I think it's safe to say that. I mean, as far as end swings go, I think this really takes the cake.
This is it. I think this might be my favorite ending,
then again,
final piece to a movie.
And then again, post 9/11 America, the last shot is him on
that's iconic. Him on the fucking flag.
American flag.
Is iconic.
I was listening to Blank Check. Shout out to those guys. They fucking made us want to start a podcast to even begin with. They were talking to somebody who went to see Spider-Man opening day in New York in Times Square, and at that part when he's on the pole with the American flag, the fucking theater erupted with shit.
Really?
Yes.
Dude, imagine
again,
that
this is New Yorkers. It was according to him, it was a theater in Times Square. At that scene, they erupted like he's on the American flag, swings, cuts the black ends.
Wow.
I'm jealous, dude. I'm jealous of that shit.
Holy shit.
Like I fucking that's a crazy feeling that I can imagine. And that's it for the movie. It's a really good. This movie really holds up, man.
It really
does. Like
I've watched this movie maybe 3 times in the last 2 weeks prepping for this.
I've watched it twice.
Haven't gotten sick of it.
I've watched it twice, and I've watched like some of the TV spots, and it's not biased. Like when I mean, for me, I don't know if you went into it with the same mind state. I try to put my bias and my history with this movie aside.
Absolutely.
I kind of try to dive into it like I'm just a person watching this movie, and it still fucking holds up. It still holds up. Like, for early 2000s CGI as well. As I said earlier, there's times where it looks really good, there's times where it looks really bad. It still fucking holds up, though. Like, it is kind of a trend now to hate on these movies, because, like, oh, it's corny, it's campy, but it's like, yeah, but...
This movie literally
It really
set in
holds up.
motion everything that we have in theaters today.
What's your rating on it? From 1 to 10?
This one?
Yeah.
Solid 8.
I think I'm going to go with 8.5.
Yeah?
Just because, actually, you know what? Like, I really don't want to give it a 9, because then I feel like the bias is kind of getting in the way.
It's, yeah, we love Spider-Man.
I'll give it an 8.5, just because some of the CGI is kind of bad at times, and the editing in this movie can be sloppy. Like, there's a scene where Jay Jonah's going through the pictures, and you see him grab a photo, but then put down a completely different photo, and it's clear that they cut a longer shot in half. It's like, all right, that's kind of blatant. And then the inconsistencies with the suit length, as far as like the neckline.
Yeah.
So it's like and then the fucking Twin Towers in his eyes for like 5 seconds. The editing in this movie kind of got sloppy.
It did. Just like the fucking nerdy kid in the the nerdy kid during the fight.
He went through 4 emotions in 4 seconds, dude.
He
has range as an
they
actor.
Want,
Where's
they
his
want
Oscar?
Me to expect that he hottity chod.
Do you want to do a quick talk about merch?
Merch in the game.
Yeah, dude. Now, for those who don't know, marketing, as far as merchandising like toys and games, those are made months, even possibly a year before the final product is made. Like, they make games way before the movie even, like, the script is even done.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things in the Spider-Man game that I think were meant to be in the movie, as far as web shooters.
Yeah, I have a figure that has the web shooter on it.
Yeah, they all do. And in the game, you could still run out of webbing.
You have to get cartridges.
Yeah, and then there's also a thing with the Skull Gang. In the first 4 missions, when you're trying to find Uncle Ben's killer, you go after a gang called the Skulls. And your whole thing is you have to get him in the warehouse. You have to go through these waves of his gang members. And I truly fucking think that the Skull members are going to be a part of this movie, man.
God, I wish they were.
Because I think that whole montage...
Circus in town? How embarrassing. You beat those guys up?
Oh, embarrassing. I think that montage when he's fighting all those crooks and shit, I think those might have been Skulls.
Yeah.
He's like those 2 guys that were robbing the...
It's canon. It's canon,
the
everybody.
store. Yeah, I truly think so.
Just like...
And then...
he was supposed to fight a giant robot.
In the novelization.
Yeah, even in the game they had that.
In the novelization of the book, there's a scene where he fights a giant robot in downtown New York. Also, Bonesaw McGraw looks a lot different in the game. Mm-hmm. I think...
he has a mask. He looks more like a heavy luchador.
Yeah, like, it's clear that's what he was going to look like until Macho Man signed up, but then they're like, oh, no, we have to have him look like... Macho Man.
Macho Man.
Come on now.
Macho Man, Randy fucking Savage. What a fucking casting choice.
Can we also talk about how Josh Keaton was supposed to voice him in this game?
Yeah, and then when you beat the game on a certain difficulty, you unlock the Goblin. You get Harry as the Green Goblin to play as.
It's pretty much the same game, but Harry's trying to find out the secrets to his dad's past. Because in this game, it's like Harry found his dad's Goblin stuff. He's trying to uncover what really happened.
Yeah.
Josh Keaton, who famously plays Peter in Spectacular Spider-Man, was meant to play Peter in this game. Yeah, but then Toby was like, I kind of want to be a part of this. So then they had Josh just voice Harry. I think that's still cool, though. To think, wow, he's famous for Spectacular, but he's been hooked onto this shit.
That Josh Keaton got the same treatment as James Franco.
You could be Harry, all right?
Yeah, they're like, you can be Harry. We know you want Spider-Man, but
handled
you're gonna be
it like
Harry.
A champ. And then when you hear him say dialogue that's still in the Peter version of the game, like when he's helping that lady find her purse.
Yep.
It's like, wow, that was supposed to be how he sounded in this game. It's like just kind of weird.
It's different because you're so used to Toby.
Yeah. And I think the marketing for this game was fantastic, man.
Marketing for this game or the marketing for this movie?
Marketing for this movie.
Spider-Man Pop-Tarts?
The Pop-Tarts, the cereal, and they had a fucking CD-ROM game that came with the cereal, which was legit the first few levels to the PS1 game, but his suit was the 2002 suit.
Yes.
That was legit the CD-ROM game, which I can buy on eBay now for like $5. I just think like the marketing for this movie was bar none, because like people keep forgetting, like, even though it's a Spider-Man movie industries always want to cater to the general movie audience, and they still had to pretty much convince people to go see this movie. Like, here's why you should go see Spider-Man. When you really look at the marketing for this fucking movie, man, I mean, you and I remember we were kids that fucking summer. on our Pop-Tarts, on our cereal. Dude, I drank Dr. Pepper for the first time because he was on the can.
Yeah.
And this
I did it too.
And this was before I saw the movie. I just went to the store once with my mother. I asked to get a drink. She's like, all right, Joe, go and choose. All of a sudden, I see Spider-Man on a can. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Gotta get this.
Full fucking shock. You're just like, wait a minute. Spider-Man, that's my guy.
The marketing was bar none. And then Blockbuster had that contest where you could win a life-size fucking statue.
Blockbuster had the statue. Fucking Carl's Jr. and Hardy had toys.
And they had cups, too, which I had the full set thanks to you. You got it for me for my birthday.
Absolutely, my friend. Oh, what else did I get you? I believe you have a film reel.
You got me
the fucking trailer for this movie.
For Christmas, Josh bought me the film reel of the first trailer. But it's not the World Trade trailer. It's like the trailer one that came out after that.
Yeah.
That's a fucking fantastic grab, too. You also got me the crew shirt that in the DVD... They gave you a little pamphlet to mail away for an official cruise shirt. Josh managed to snag me that on eBay. It's a little bit on the tight side, though, man.
Hey, you know, you
it's
win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some.
Are you gonna fucking cry about it? Or are you gonna fucking wear it?
I missed the part where that's my
I missed the part where that's my problem. Fuck.
Yeah, do you want to fucking end it there?
I think we've covered just about everything. We've watched the movie. We've covered marketing. Wait a minute.
We're at 2 hours.
Toys, buddy.
I think the line for this movie is fantastic.
Toys, dude.
Again, merchandise unlocking stuff that
let's talk about the hours of annoying our parents we did when we fucking had the web shooters with the silly string.
Yeah, and they
Did you
also
ever have that?
Yes, of course. And also in the Kellogg's box, they had a water one.
Yes,
as a prize in a lot of the cereals, they had this like you would fill it up with water, put on your wrist. Yeah, dude, wetting everything. He's fucking tracking mud everywhere. I swear to God. I had the shirts. I had a hat. I had a beanie.
Dude, I had the whole fucking bedspread.
I also had it.
I remember the candy I got when I fucking went to see this movie opening night.
You got to see this in theaters.
And it still shocks me that you didn't because you're as much as a spiderhead as I am.
See, the thing is, I've thought about it. My mother was very pregnant at the time with my sister. My sister was due in July. This was May. So she was home all day trying to relax. She took time off work. My father was working extra hard. And whenever he'd be home, he'd be helping my mother. So, there was just no free day where it's like, hey, Joe, let's leave Mom home and go to a movie.
Oh, so basically you just fucking hate Spider-Man.
Basically, my fucking sister prevented me. You know what, dude? I swear to God.
If you fucking hear this, thanks.
Melissa,
Thank you. That's great.
I think that's it, dude.
I think we're done. That, honestly...
That wasn't that bad of a train wreck.
I think the train actually made it back to the station.
A couple of missing passengers, but,
Yeah, they fucking didn't make the right, turns or anything, but we got there.
I don't think you understand how trains work. They don't make turns, they just follow a track.
But they can switch tracks, no?
Yeah, but they don't make the turn. The tracks make the turn.
We're editing this out.
That's fucking staying in. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to episode 1 of Blast from the Past. You can follow us on Instagram at Blast Podcast. That's BLAST PODCAST. You can also hear this on Instagram, on YouTube, on SoundCloud. Hopefully, we get it on Spotify in the coming weeks.
Absolutely. Now, the current plan is to do this bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. We're every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, so we can get a feel for it.
2 weeks would have lost the contract to Quest. Oscorp would be dead.
Back to formula.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, your co-host, Joseph, Joey. I haven't thought of a nickname yet.
And I am Joshua, Josh. I haven't thought of one myself, but I hope that we unlocked the memory.
Stay classic. Till next time, this is Blast from the Past. Thank you.
Peace.